1989, Port Hope sidewalk sale. Just think about that. The fact that this was happening at the Port Hope sidewalk sale. Even now, I think that would be a little shocking, but in 1989, I mean, that was a freak show. It really was. And I got to see the Guns of August in their very first performance. Funny thing is, I had already seen them perform a number of times. It was just always in my living room. Because Mike Hepburn was in the group. And Mike was a great bass player. And he went on and he was in Fish Belly White. So he was, he was a great musician at that age. And they were probably 16. And then Ian Town was in the group. And he was sort of the older guy. Ian was like the spiritual leader of the group. And my brother was also in the group. A very young Christian was in the group. And he was the guitar player, and he did some, he was already doing some sequencing at that age. Already using some samples at that age. Obviously some primitive gear, but I mean, still. And I think that was the first time I ever met Johnny Weeks as well, was at that show. And then within a few years, by the time 92 rolls around, I'm in Helium, and that's kind of the beginning of me as a guy that's always in a group. I mean, I went from seeing Spin Cycle in, say, like 1991, I think it was, at Canada Day. And that was one of the life-changing moments of my life. Because, again, Spin Cycle, if you thought the Guns of August in 1989 were shocking to our little town of Port Hope, see Spin Cycle. Spin Cycle consisted of Derek Downham on the drums. And Derek was one of the greatest musicians to ever come out of Port Hope. And I mean, you look at where he's at now, and it didn't happen by accident. It happened by a lot of hard work, but it also happened because the guy could literally play any instrument at that age. He's just one of those guys, that could always do it from a technical side, and from a feeling side, and from a performance side. And Clayton Yates and Darcy Yates, and those two were, again, for that age, 18 years old, maybe tops at that age, playing those shows, those guys were just unbelievable musicians. And the fact that they were twin brothers and they had the whole rock star look and everything. And then you had Corey Highfield. And not only was he one of the most, innovative, experimental, creative minds Porto ever had, regardless of what anyone wants to say about him. He was just unbelievable in terms of being a creative mind and a visionary. And he was the thing about Ian too, is that he was the guy that got everything done for the town and the scene at that time. And, he got Spin Cycle, which had just recently changed their name, just recently, from Sodomized Children on Acid. And they had played some shows at, like, the Walton Sideshow, which again was an Ian Town thing, I think. People can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but pretty sure Ian was the guy that got that done. I'm sure a lot of the people watching this, everybody watching this, except a few probably, have never heard about the Walton Sideshow. And I mean, this was like, there were weekly shows happening then. And then for me to go from that 1 year of watching Spin Cycle at Canada Day, these guys had a prominent spot. And again, Ian Town's the one that got that done. Right there at the band shell, to all these old people. And they were as shocking, as heavy as anything you could imagine at that time. So that was something, and then 1 year later, here I am in Helium. And now I'm in that spot, not playing Canada Day, but I'm playing the band shell on a weekly basis. And people are showing up on a weekly basis. And it was just such an amazing thing at the time, because I idolized these guys. And I will openly say that. I mean, I idolize all of them. I thought they were the coolest thing in the world. And then to go to actually playing with them 1 year later, that was the motivation for me to, okay, this is what I want to do. And that was the inspiration for me at that time in our day. But the biggest inspiration on the group, Statutory Rap, I mean, is easy. The greatest inspiration on Statutory Rap is Ian Meadows.
Black moon, not another pop MC with another rap tune, just another rap grave site, another rap tune. R.I.P. auto-tune, long live the stat rap. Boom bap, cover your trap when we on stage, on the bash golden age, made from what the fuck y'all so afraid of? Not giving a fuck. Do I detect a tone? Like my name Ian Meadows saying
respect, man.
Hold your head up high.
I really showed respect to him, and it's giving me a shout out. It's a big deal these days, you know what I'm saying?
He contributed more to the aura of statutory rap than anything, any musician, any inspiration, Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z, anything. Because he just set the tone for everything we did. The humor that we had, just that carefree attitude, and also the fact that he really kept us up on the times with the current music. Because you know me, I'm like grouchy old man, like, I get my E to hip hop, and I'm wearing the shell top Adidas and stuff like that, talking about Houdini, and nobody wants to fucking hear it, anything I'm saying. But Ian was the guy that kept us current, especially me.
You should know about that, motherfucker. Just putting a name out, throwing the name out there, you got mad respect for him.
And you look at it on the surface, and what would this 35-year-old pseudo-intellectual, pseudo-revolutionary vegetarian have in common with this 25-year-old, just an absolute savage?
Adam, I was talking to Adam on the fucking Facebook last night. He said he was
This politically incorrect, meat-eating, good old boy. What would those two people have in common? How would they get along so well? I don't know how to explain that to you. I just know that we have this very special kinship. We've always gotten along very well from the very first time I met him at one of our shows. He just walked up to me and said, "No, I'm Mike's brother." We hit it off right off the bat.
These boys have been through it with me for the long run, short run, thick run, off camera run.
And I don't know what he would say about me on camera. I can only imagine, actually, what he is going to say in general when you guys talk to him. You just never know what he's going to say, man.
Stacks. Stacks on stacks, baby.
You never know what he's going to shoot back at you. You just know it's probably going to make you laugh.
Like my name Ian Meadows saying
respect, man.
Hold your head up.
Malone's a word that goes far back. It's actually,
I don't even think he knows, really.
The people and also local tribes use Malone as, they call their chiefs. Like Chief Chuck.
As he uses it as a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, everything.
It goes way back to even the AD days with the dinosaurs, but yeah, it's ancient. It's with the mummies. They found it on mummies before, and it just means...
And again, when we had the opportunity to shoot a video...
I might throw it back to Malone Star. It's just a classic vintage.
We knew that it had to, first of all, be in that part of town. And had to be a shout out, to the roots of, the Meadows clan and everything like that.
Just gives the neighborhood good feel, good publicity.
But I knew, in my heart, it needed to be on a day when Ian was not working.
Yeah. I ended up having to pay him 2 G's to put me on the track, but...
Because to get him involved, to get him in the video...
I wish I had nothing to do with it.
Have some fun, again, lots of laughs. Everything you see in the video is 100% true.
I feel that it could be used as evidence against me, and I just don't like it.
It's us having fun.
It was like a fiesta out there. It was a freestyle session. All the senoritas came out that day. We had a lot of girls. It was some people said it was like the Dr. Dre video. Snooped out.
It's us doing what we do, which is what a music video should be. It shouldn't be a bunch of posturing and a bunch of acting and whatever. It should be your personality shining on film, and I think that really does show.
The moped just gives you swag, and it's something I've had for years. 1975 vintage.
And yeah, to get to work with him was an absolute treat.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.